Hello, dear viewers. Welcome back to Alatra TV Middle East. And today we are very happy to have a very special guest with us. She is a beautiful lady and a very strong woman, and she believes in the unique and unmistakable diversity that lies within us all. And I'm very happy to introduce you my co-host today, Ruki Pinel from Zurich. Hi, Ruki.
Hey, Alina. Hi, how are you? Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here today.
Nice to
Thank
see you
you.
with us today. And I will just introduce our guest as well. Today we have Dr. Irene Kilubi from Germany. Hello, Dr. Irene. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me here. Thanks for talking to you, Ruki and Alina.
Yeah, so pleasure is ours. Dear viewers, today we will touch the topic of the role of digital marketing in building of a creative society. We will speak about the role of a woman in our society and how our civilization can benefit from development of technologies and how all of us can influence the development of our society. And for those who have joined us recently, I would like to introduce the project Creative Society. It is a unique global international project which was launched on the platform of Alatra TV and the movement which is called International Public Movement Alatra unites people from all over 180 countries of the world, and people from the movement conduct social surveys and interviews to ask people in the world how they envision such a society where everyone lives prosperously and happily, there we live without wars and conflicts, and if we can create such a society and what we need in order to create such a society. So just before we start, I would like to address our viewers. Please feel free to leave your comments and questions in live chat of this conversation, and the most interesting ones will be asked at the end of our broadcast. So, and as I said, I'm very happy that today's show I'm hosting together with Ruki, and I'm sure that many of you saw the interview with Ruki on our broadcast, and today we have a beautiful company. So, Ruki, please, I
Yes.
pass your word.
Hello, everyone. Yes, and I'd like to add that throughout this project, we're testing a theory of 6 handshakes. So according to these, what we mean is that all the people on earth know each other through 6, or even less social connections. So for example, I know someone from, let's say, India or somewhere in East Asia, and through 6 or even 4 connections, thanks to them, I meet other people, through modern technology. So please welcome with me today our guest, Dr. Irene Kilubi. She's a founder and managing director of brandPreneurs&brandFluencers. She's a strategist and she's an expert for community building, personal branding, and social selling. A power woman, obviously, with a vision of creative approaches. Hi, Dr. Irene Kilubi. Thank you so very much for accepting our invitation and for joining us today. How are you doing? Could you please tell our viewers a little bit more about yourself and what is your global goal for today?
And please pronounce the name of the company correctly.
Yes, please.
We tried so hard.
You have to excuse me.
Thanks so much for the lovely introduction, Ruki. So the name of my company is brandPreneurs&brandFluencers. And I have a very special claim that really resonates to my personality, which is invent yourself, influence others, and impact the world. And that's what I wish for everyone to do so, because as Alina said at the beginning, everyone is unique and everyone is something special and everyone is a gift from heaven. And if we start realizing it, our lives might be much, much better. So in fact, what I do, to put it in a nutshell, I help pioneers, visionaries, change makers to position themselves as a sustainable brand, both offline and online.
So that's very interesting, and we watched a little bit what you are doing. And yesterday you participated in the webinar, which has a very inspiring topic: the power of communities, how to build strong connections globally. So how did it go, and what was it about actually?
Yes, it was about telling people out there the importance of building communities, because I feel like that's very much the trend in the future. We should stop with this silo thinking that we can do everything on our own, might it be a country or company, because I believe that together we are stronger. So I showed them a couple of examples of strong communities, how they do well, and why in fact people join communities, right? There are several different reasons, but the main thing is that they have shared values, they have a common target, and they have a mutual interest, right? And while joining a community, you must always feel better off being a member of a community than being on your own, right? So those were topics we've been touching, and there were lots of questions from the audience, right? Because yes, I feel like especially after the Corona pandemic situation, many people are interested in this topic, even more so than before.
Yeah, we can feel nowadays we all try to unite, that's true. And now people absolutely had an opportunity to compare how to stay by your own and what it means for a human being to be part of the community and how beautiful it can be. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So in a preview to the webinar earlier, you have said we don't have this geographical boundaries anymore. If you have something special to give outside there to the world, it doesn't matter where you are located. This was what you said. So what do you think unites people around the world internally?
Yes, what unites them, in fact, if they share the same passion, right? If they have common values. I think if we focus on what we have in common rather than our differences, right, that would lead us much further in our society, right? So the best thing, just imagine, like, for example, if you want to connect with someone online, right? The first thing you're looking for is like, some people say like, okay, maybe we have the same profession, right? Because that's also some kind of hint to show you like maybe there's a common interest. And then when you talk to people, you go even one step further. Do we share the same values, right? And then if you want to take it to the next level, you say like, do we have the same objectives? So potentially we might be working together, you know? It's like a step-by-step process where it starts. But it always starts with, does this person have something in common? Or do we share like mutual experiences, for example?
Right. Oh, wow. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's powerful.
Absolutely, yes. Dr. Irene, can you please tell us why did you choose this profession? So what brought you to where you are now, and what drives you to be so active in what you're doing?
In fact, I have to go back a little bit to the past when I went to school, because basically my background is business engineering. I used to work in the technology field, innovation field. But still, I'm touching on these topics, right? When I was at school, I was pretty good at school. And when I went to the university, I had to choose some major subject areas, right? So I thought like, okay, I will do like logistics, production management, supply chain, but still I also had like topics like human resources or marketing. And people always kept telling me, oh, you're such a salesperson, you're a marketing girl, you know, you should do marketing. And even my professor, she said like, okay, what are you going to study? And I said like business engineering. And said like, no, you should be doing marketing, right? And I always said like, people are putting me in a certain category. And I said like, I can do even more. I can do like technical stuff. I'm good at math, because I always felt like selling, marketing, everyone can do that, right? And so that's why I intentionally decided not to do marketing, right? And then I later on, when I started working, again, one of my boss said like, "Oh, you should be working in a marketing agency," and I was like, "Oh no, it's pursuing me throughout my whole career because they're so outgoing and convincing and so on." And for me, it was something easy, like every woman could do, right? But I felt like it's something cool to say like, "Yes, I'm good in technology and math." But then I eventually started realizing with topics on personal development and trying to understand myself better, to reflect on myself and to try to figure out what do I actually want to do. And so it reminded me back to all the stories. And I said, at the end of the day, what I've been doing during my profession, I was really good at it. And I also enjoyed it, but it didn't fulfill me. And that was the major difference when I started realizing that many people out there, right, they either pursue a profession where they're really good at or they're very passionate about. And I say that's the wrong thing to do. You have to find something where both can come together because then you can excel and you're not mediocre. Yeah. Because I have also many things that I'm passionate about, but I'm not good at it. So it will never fulfill me because there are so many people out there who are better at it. And on the other hand side, even though I'm good at something, but I don't have the passion, I will not feel happy about my life.
Wow. Powerful, powerful. I like the combination of what you're passionate about and what you're good at. The two is, wow, that's powerful. So you're a professional in the field of digital marketing, and from your experience, how can one make an idea of CS more popular around the globe using the tools of digital marketing? How can we use modern tools to unite people around something bigger that can change the life of humanity, that can change humanity, you know?
So to be honest, let me tell you something. It's so easy. It's so easy. In fact, I always say, like, if you have something special to give, you're good at something. It's not enough to just be good at it. People need to see and people need to know it. And the only way to do so is to put yourself out there. I've been there as well. Although I'm an outgoing person, very communicative, but still, I was afraid. Like, you know, I've been working for large corporates and companies, and I was thinking, oh my God, what will my former colleagues say? And something like that. But at the end of the day, I said, like, no one is interested in you. It's your life, right? And yourself, and just do it. And most of the cases, people were happy about it. And I'm also lecturing at universities, and even my students, they always say like, "Oh, that's so fantastic," and go on with that. And right, do not worry so much, and start spreading a message out there. Look for a social media platform that is relevant for you and your target audience. And find your mission, find the reason why people should be listening to you, and start creating content. The first step you can do, like interacting with other people's postings, comments, right? So to get a bit of feel about it. And then eventually start creating content yourself about your mission, about your interest, about the way you want to impact society. Because that's in fact what we need. We don't need people who are quiet sitting there in their room, because then we cannot change anything.
All right. Wow.
Absolutely. And you touched so many important topics, how important it is to believe in yourself, how important it is to develop in the profession you choose, how important it is to be happy. And only the society of happy people can be a happy society. Only the society where people have an opportunity to be themselves and to develop can be happy. And so to be creative means to be happy and to do what you are good in and what you love to do. And then you bring a lot of very positive impact to the society. And I really loved what you said about how important it is to share these understandings with people around in your words, or by the example you are for other people, as well as you mentioned for your students, for example. And let's touch a little bit more the topic of a creative society. So how do you envision such a society there everyone is happy, there you are happy, your beloved ones are happy? Can you describe it?
Yes, that's pretty much interesting what you're mentioning here, because I just participated on the book, which is called 50 Years Hence, where we were like 15 people visioning the future in 50 years. So
that's interesting.
the editor approached me last year and I said, oh, that's such a cool project, and I have to do it, right? And I'm always very immediately passionate, and then I was sitting at home like, oh my God, what have you done? You know, you can't even imagine the future the next 2-3 years, and now you should imagine the future 50 years ahead, right? And still, I managed it somehow. And then I felt like when we had a Zoom call with all the participants discussing about what we felt and how we envisioned the future, I felt like I was the most, let's say, scientific person because I was worrying that they would say like, okay, Irene, it's so boring. It will happen in 2 years. So what I mentioned, for example, is one thing that I believe that in the future, we will be more consciousness, right? The first thing. Because it's so interesting. I've spoken to someone from my network, and he asked me, how did you deal with the situation with the corona, not going outside and stuff like that? And I said, like, I started meditating even more. And he said, like, I'm not doing it at all. My daughter does it, like you, like every morning, like 1 hour or so, but I don't do it. And I said, like, why? Because I feel like it's important, because they said like, because now I'm always in the state where I meditate the whole day. And I think if we achieve that, to be always consciousness, right? Every second of our life, we would be much more happier. Right. And then another thing that I mentioned is that we will live more in communities where we will not have any geographical boundaries. Rather, that people will come together based on mutual benefits, right? There will not be, there's Europe, US, and so on, but people will just choose how to come together, and they will also choose who will be the so-called community leader, right? So, and I wish for it that money will be equally distributed, right? Even food, drinks. And then another thing that education. That's one of my passion, that education becomes accessible for everyone in the world, right? Because I have to say, thanks to my education, having the chance to be educated, right, brought me so far. And I know that many people out there don't have this chance. Right? And they might be eventually much smarter than I am. They might be the future leaders in the world, but they don't get this opportunity due to lack of education.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I said a bit. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
Very inspiring. I wanted to ask you, you mentioned so many like clue points of a happy society. There people like collaborate, work together, live in communities. Boundaries are like, let's say they might exist, but they are free to cross, and we want to move from one place to another. We have an opportunity to develop equally. But then you touched the topic of the leaders such a community, such a society can choose. Which characteristics would you say such leaders should have in order to the society to function happily?
I think first of all, it should be someone who's familiar with diversity, right? because the world will be more and more diverse. You have to deal with different people from different origins, let's say, right? But still, the diversity is so complex, right? It's about age diversity, for example. A topic I found very important as well. Inclusiveness, sexual orientation, and so on. It should be a leader who doesn't care about it, right? Who says like, it's not important to me, and everyone who doesn't stick to it, right? Just seeing a person like a human being, right, is not right for our community, right? And we have to change it somehow. I think this is the first thing you need to embrace as a leader.
Yeah, because like this, we won't have conflicts. So many reasons for conflicts and aggression and violence.
That's right.
Just will disappear.
And then also be a visionary, right? To lead people, also walk the talk, right? Because we've seen it in the past. I will not mention any names, but a weak leader can destroy a whole society. That's a matter of fact, right? And
or the whole world even.
Or the whole world, yeah. It's a domino effect, yeah.
Exactly. But I believe that we will be in the future so smart in consciousness that we will choose the right ones, right? The right leaders to guide us through the communities in the future.
Communities, wow.
Communities, wisdom, mutual respect, right?
Wow.
And equal access to education and to resources.
Education.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, even today, like our planet and all our like potential and experience, technology development, it's so huge. I'm sure we can easily solve all the problems on this planet whenever it concerns food and water, education, healthcare. Just we should unite. And Ruki, I would like to ask you, as it's since already quite a couple of months you are familiar with the project Creative Society and you are actively participating in different projects within this great project. What maybe you have new understandings about how we can build such a society, or maybe you
it's
want
incredible
to share
because
something.
You know, I'm going through, thank you, Alina, I'm going through the 8 foundations, and everything Dr. Irene said is, it actually just ticked, you know, with the foundations. If we have,
I don't know the foundation, by the way.
I actually at this point would like to read it out, and just for you to know that you talked about virtually everything, you know, in the foundation.
Okay, great.
So shall we make the short presentation? There's 8 foundations.
Yeah, we will see them on the screen as well. Yeah.
Yes, and the Creative Society stands on 8 pillars. The first one is human life. And the second one is human freedom. The third one is human safety.
Wow.
The fourth one is transparency and openness of information for all. The fifth one is creative ideology. The sixth one is development of personality. The seventh one is justice and equality, which you talked about. And the 8th one is self-governing society. So you talked about communities, you know, so it's very powerful. And I mean, let's look at the 5th one. What do you think about creative ideology? What's your idea, you know, behind that? Creativity in societies and communities.
Yeah, you might probably all know Jack Ma. The founder of Alibaba.
Yeah.
And he mentioned creativity as one of the major skills of the future of human being. Because with creativity, you can solve everything in the world, right? So that's why I also feel like our educational system should change towards fostering more creativity at schools, right? Because we only learn like the hard facts, so to say, but we don't really learn on how to be creative, how to build our own project, our own initiative, our own company, right? If I could turn back time, I would go there in front of my teacher and say like, please teach me how to be creative, teach me how to solve problems, because I totally agree with Jack Ma. That's one of the major skills in the future, because many times we think that we have everything in society we need. Everything, there's for everything a solution. No, there's still so many things to solve, right? And we might be having solved issues on the technological side, but also on the human side, we need to solve things, and also their creativity is asked.
Absolutely. That's very interesting that now you have like almost in by heart described the sixth foundation of a creative society, which is development of a personality. And I would read it. So every person in the creative society has the right to comprehensive development and personal fulfillment. Education should be free and equally accessible to all, creating conditions and expanding opportunities for a human to implement his or her creative abilities and talents.
Wow.
So,
Great.
Thank you.
But I have to say it again. I didn't know your 8 pillars here before.
You fit perfectly.
That's actually, it's a demand of humanity. That's what people mentioned mostly in their answers to questions during these social interviews, live conversations, and then we asked these questions, people were giving answers, and we kind of summarized all of them. So this is a demand of all of us.
Yeah, great.
And Dr. Irene, what do you think is the best way to inform people about such an initiative as the Creative Society Project, now that you know the foundations and your expertise is in influencing and branding? Yeah. What would be the best way to inform people about this kind of initiative?
Of course, build a community, find role models, so to say, also niche influencers who spread the word, right? Because as I said, my favorite hashtag is "Together we are stronger," right? You could also eventually start off like, you probably have like Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups, like invite people to join, but also finding people like you, Ruki, who is passionate about it, who spreads the word, who writes content about it from time to time, as you're already doing perfectly fine with your broadcasting. Then eventually also think of different formats like webinars, conducting events, right? Everything that brings your message across out there, right? And then also find the top role models, because that's in fact the major thing. People who are so passionate about your initiative that they talk to others about it, that they even share your content, right? That's the best thing you could do, right? And also make them feel an integral part of your community, right? So that's in fact the first step to define your selection criteria. Who do you want to be part of your community? What kind of values should they have? What kind of interests should they have? And then identifying those people who are willing to help you further grow your community. In this case, the best example I can give you, look at Amnesty International. Everyone who works for Amnesty International, for example, does it voluntarily. Why? Because Amnesty has such a strong mission, right? Because they fight for human rights. And everyone who can relate to it and really can feel and see that it's very important to them through this mission, they're always willing to spread the word and to spend their free time to really make this initiative grow, right? So that's the way they're as big as they are now today.
Wow. Awesome.
Yes, and then another thing, of course, because you're targeting society here, also thinking of collaborating with other corporations, also like getting your foot into politics, right? Because at the end of the day, I had a conversation, I think it was 2 days ago, with a lady who works in the top management and so on, and she told me, like, she said, like, Irene, if you really want to have an impact on society and change something, you need to also somehow realize with politics, because at the end of the day,
True.
only do what the politicians say.
I agree with you.
In
Yeah.
matter of fact.
Me also. I'm so much agree. And touching this topic of politicians, actually, we were thinking about, okay, all people, we can all unite and we know in which society we want to live. And what should we do then? Like we all say that we want to live in a nice and good society. So how can we bring this message further? And here's the point. We also came to the conclusion that people who are in politics now, people who are implementing the wish of population, of people living in the society, in the country, in the world, and they are also people who want to live happily, who wants that their children live in safety conditions without wars, there everyone develops. So that's the next like level that politicians also join this initiative, and we already have politicians in different countries who joined the project and they brought it to their platforms as well. And we people, if we unite and we say, it's even easier for politicians because we know that people are not happy about what politicians do, but never say what exactly they should do, right? And all together we say, guys, we have 8 foundations. Can we build a society really staying on these pillars, but honestly working? And then it's a great project for all of us, which can even unite us by the same goal, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Because we share the same mission, right? We have the
Right.
same vision. And I cannot imagine one person saying like, I don't want to have a happier society. If you find that person, I will say like something's wrong with him, right? But
Right.
that's a so strong mission that you have here that unites everyone.
Right.
Fantastic.
It's for everyone. Yeah. That's true.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Absolutely. Irene, and can I introduce for you and for our viewers the first pillar, the first foundation, because I love it so much. I just want to repeat it again and again. So the first and the most important pillar is human life. Human life is the highest value. Life of any human has to be protected as one's own. The goal of society is to ensure and guarantee the value of each human's life. There is not and neither can there be anything else more valuable than a human's life. If one human is valuable, then all people are valuable.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
that's it.
Everything in there, diversity, human rights, right? So in fact, what you're also talking about, it's for you, it's one of your pillars. But for example, in Nestle, it's the major focus, right? Human rights. Yes, that human beings are safe, that they are valued. I think that appreciation and feeling valued is the most important thing that a human being can have, such as a feeling, right? Being valued, like having the belief that it's absolutely okay that I'm the way I am, right? And why should I change for anyone else? And I'm here for a certain reason, right?
True. Absolutely. These questions every human being is asking himself or herself.
Yes,
What is who I am? What is my reason to be here? What can I do?
that's
That's
yeah, because
that's
that's the issue, in fact, right? Because there are so many people in the wrong profession because they have to earn money or they don't have the right education or I don't know, so many reasons, right? So if we start there, that's why I feel like it's the most important to start with it as a first pillar, right? Because if every individual feels happy, right, it can spread across the whole society.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely. And happy
That right.
communities. We then they grow happy communities,
Right.
right?
Yes, that's what I
Right.
one of my friends. Yes, because she has she's building some co-working spaces for freelancers and creative people. And I said like, and she said like, Irene, are you willing to support? I said yes, of course I'm supporting. Let's create happy communities. I wrote her on WhatsApp a couple of days ago. Let's create happy communities.
Oh wow. What a coincidence.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the same mission you are fulfilling as well, Rookie, right? In the project you're running as well.
Yes, hope now. We bring hope now. Let's together bring hope now to the world, particularly to relationships, because our only pillar at Hope Now is that you're as successful as your relationships. So you've talked about communities, about building. There's no two ways about it. You're only as successful as your community, as the community you find yourself, as your relationships, either interpersonal or business relationships. So that's the focus of Hope Now, actually, helping people to build healthier relationships and succeed, bringing hope now to people. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for today's conversation. I have one question for both of you. Would you love to live in a creative society?
Okay. Why should I say no? Right?
I know, right? I'm just like,
so if you can tell me like at least one disadvantage of living in a creative society, I will think about it. But right now, as I can't imagine one reason not to do so, I would say, of course, I would love to, right?
Absolutely.
Of course, I would love to. This would be the utopia, and hopefully, I hope we make it happen someday soon in my lifetime, in our lifetimes.
I hope so too.
Oh, we have so many. Yeah, we have.
I can experience it. I can experience. Please.
I hope so too.
Yeah, we are absolutely. We live in special times, and there are so many good and powerful people around us with very open hearts. And actually, our children and the young generation, they are very special as well. And we know that people feel so much to take seriously this project and to really make it happen, that I'm sure we can really see the creative society and all changes which are already happening now, because many people started to talk already that we should stop this, we should change this vector of our consumerism format society to the creative one. And that's already the first step. People stopped and they started to think about it. So that's
the
lovely.
Conversation is on. Yes. Oh, wow. Powerful.
So powerful. Dear guests and dear viewers, so if you would like to join the Project Creative Society, it's very easy. Please visit the allatraunites.com webpage, and there you'll find a red button, Join Us. You click it, you choose a language you speak, and you answer question how you would like to participate, and just leave your contacts for the participants of ALLATRA International Public Movement, and they will contact you. And if you would like to participate in our live conversations and broadcasts 6 handshakes, please send us an email to info@allatraunites.com. I would like also to inform you that we also have ALLATRA Radio, and people who don't want to participate in a TV show can participate in podcasts, and also send us emails with your essay and understanding about creative society. So we are very happy that every day more and more people join the project all over the world. Also, I would like to tell you that ALLATRA TV exists in every country, on every continent of this world, and we speak different languages. So if you speak Chinese, Japanese, any other language, just you can imagine yourself which language you speak and you want to participate. There are participants of the movement who can take the interview, who can organize this show. So please join us. The quicker we connect, the quicker we can build such a society.
Awesome. Thank you, Alina. So please, viewers, thank you for joining us today. Share our broadcasts in social media networks using the 2 hashtags, hashtag Creative Society and hashtag ALLATRA Unite. I'll say that again, hashtag Creative Society and hashtag ALLATRA Unites. Leave your comments below, please, and also join the 6 handshakes initiatives. After all, the more people find out about the possibility of creating a creative society, the faster we can begin to implement it, just like Alina said. Thank you all very much, and see you soon on Alatra TV Middle East.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.